you want to fight and you want to send a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life to kick the living out of a goofy, entitled dickhead like you. You know my name, Andrew Tate. Google it if you want to know more. Any day, any time.
And you turned on Netflix that night. We were like, holy fuck, I'm about to see the greatest live sporting event of all time.
Dana White just confirmed it. Jake Paul is set to face Andrew Tate. This is the showdown everyone's been waiting for. But let's be honest, this isn't one of Jake's usual fights against someone retired, irrelevant, or just there for a paycheck. This time, he's stepping into the ring with Andrew Tate, a fighter in his prime, who knows how to throw punches that don't just hurt physically.
Nobody's sitting down right. You want the good reason. Not only champions of the past, we have world champions of the past.
And let's not forget, this fight has a purpose. Tate is coming in fired up, ready to defend Mike Tyson's legacy. He's also looking to prove that Jake is less of a real fighter and more of a PR stunt, just muscles built on hype, and maybe a little extra help along the way.
Don't worry about Conor McGregor you up. Don't worry about Floyd Mayweather you up. You only want to lose to them so you can say, well, I lost to Conor McGregor. Why don't you lose to an old man who's retired? I live in the real world, Jake. There's a whole bunch of fighters out here who live in the real world. Men who are dangerous and dedicated their lives to this sport.
Dana White didn't just confirm the fight, he revealed something big about Andrew Tate's motivation. And it's personal.
And Dana White didn't just confirm the fight, he dropped a bombshell about Andrew Tate's motivation, and it's personal.
You know, there's a lot of, in Portnoy went out and said that it was the greatest con job of all time. I mean, if you didn't think that that's the way the fight, I don't know what people expect.
Tate isn't getting in the ring just for the fame or the money, though. Let's be honest, $3 million isn't bad. This is about revenge, pride, and bringing respect back to a sport Jake Paul has turned into his personal TikTok show. After Jake's cringe-worthy fight with Mike Tyson, a match some called a tragic comedy, Tate made it clear he's not holding back.
What? I'm trying so hard to not start internet beefs. I'm really trying not to.
You could say Jake and Logan, man.
Bro,
don't worry about it.
No, I can't lie. Bro, I'm going through life. I'm trying to live peaceful now. I've got Fed agents in my house. Matrix is after me. I'm just trying to live peaceful.
Tate straight up accused Jake Paul of disrespecting not just Tyson but the sport of boxing itself. To Tate, this wasn't just a disappointing fight, it was an insult to every fighter who's ever bled, broken bones, or been knocked out chasing greatness.
You know, where his head's at in life in terms of what he wants to do.
Okay, but you didn't answer the question. Do you have any interest in it?
I don't know. I mean, Andrew has messaged me over the past few days, and
let's be real, Jake's fight with Tyson was more drama than boxing. Tyson, nearly 60 and wearing a knee brace, still gave Jake a tough time. But did Jake take it as a lesson? Nope. He strutted around like he'd just won every belt, calling himself the greatest showman in boxing. The backlash was immediate and brutal. Critics called it a joke, fans tore into him online, and even Tyson's supporters felt their hero was used as a pawn in Jake's endless clout chase. But now, Andrew Tate is stepping out of retirement, like a gladiator from the Colosseum, ready to do what Tyson couldn't. Tate shut Jake Paul up for good.
Yeah, he'll never do that, though. He knows. He knows way.
One, he's under contract. And
he's not his own boss.
And two, he won't do it. He knows better.
Tate isn't known for being subtle, and he's not starting now. He's made it clear Jake Paul needs a reality check, and Tate is ready to give it to him. Forget flashy press conferences or fake smiles. Tate is putting $3 million of his own money on the line. Winner takes all. For him, this isn't about a paycheck or a social media stunt, it's about making a statement.
Do it.
Let's do it. No, seriously.
I'm about the action. Like, I'm less talk now. Like, let's just fucking go.
Yo, but you know for a fact, me and Jake will travel to Romania. We will make this happen. We'll do it wherever you want, whatever conditions you want. 2 brothers, 1 cage.
A bold reminder that boxing is for real fighters, not wannabe influencers with inflated egos and sketchy training routines. And Tate isn't just talk, he's a 4-time world champion with decades of experience and a highlight reel that proves it. And then there's Jake, the walking, talking symbol of a boxing era no one asked for. Fresh off his fight with Tyson, Jake did what he does best, brushed off the criticism and cranked up the theatrics. He called the backlash jealousy because clearly, anyone who doesn't adore Jake Paul must just be bitter about his success, right? He even mocked Tate, calling him a washed-up kickboxer, and couldn't resist taking jabs at Carl Froch while he was at it. That's Jake's playbook: drag people into his circus, throw out some insults, and laugh all the way to the bank. But here's the twist. This time, Jake isn't just playing the villain. He's walking a fine line between being the loudmouth who thrives on controversy and a fighter who needs to prove he's more than just hype. A loss to Tate won't just hurt his ego, it could shake the very foundation of the empire he's built on staged fights and viral moments.
True fighter, legitimate, badass motherfucker, strong mentality. Sorry, Tristan Tate is the weak link.
I say let's
He got a bad shoulder. He's shaped like a gingerbread man. I don't want no beef, but that's delusion.
PFO will set this up.
A MMA double tag team match.
10 million for everybody.
You might have a fight. You might have a fight.
We all know Dana White isn't just a promoter, he's the mastermind of combat sports. And Jake Paul versus Andrew Tate? That's his latest checkmate. Word is, Dana finally got tired of Jake's circus act, years of influencer-driven boxing turning real fighters into jokes. Instead of rolling his eyes like the rest of us, Dana saw the chaos and thought, let's fix this. He stepped in, gave it a real story. And just like that, Jake Paul is now set to face a man who isn't in it for the clout, but for blood. Enter Andrew Tate, a fighter with real credentials and enough hatred for Jake to fuel the entire Vegas Strip.
Jake is actually quite a nice guy. I met Jake and he's actually quite a nice guy. I wanted to jump back in there and teach him all a lesson. And there were some fights on the card, some big fights for me being organized in November.
Dana White didn't sugarcoat it either. He called the fight the ultimate mix of skill, spectacle, and storytelling, which basically means it's going to be brutal, but you'll enjoy every second. When Dana talks like that, you know he's serious. This isn't just about throwing punches, it's about creating a spectacle so huge it'll pull combat sports out of the influencer mess Jake Paul has been making. Dana's fingerprints are all over this, from bringing peace between the two sides, because Jake's team probably wanted every advantage, to making sure the rules didn't turn into a TikTok challenge. Thanks to White, what could have been a cringe-worthy social media argument is now the fight everyone's talking about.
While you're next training, I know you're only 18 days away from a fight, but next time you're training and you want some sparring, fly to Romania and we'll spar and we'll film it and we'll decide if we want to release it or not afterwards. But I have no problem. We can have a sparring match anytime. That's easy,
let's
right?
Let's do it, guys.
I'm down for that, but we can't. But we can't release it for free. That's like, it's like giving the people what they want.
Let's not pretend Dana's here just for honor and glory. He's all about the numbers. Jake's fight with Tyson, yes, that disaster, still pulled in 65 million viewers and made over $18 million in ticket sales. The fight might have been a mess for boxing fans, but for Dana, he sees a gold mine in these influencer fights. But here's the catch: if it flops, it'll hurt everyone's credibility, including his. So, being Dana, he stacked the deck. Andrew Tate isn't just a random name, he's the kind of fighter who doesn't hold back, both in and out of the ring.
I really dislike Jake Paul. Now, I don't dislike him, I understand him. I want to make something clear. I would still kick the living out of Jake Paul. I'm not some washed up UFC fighter. I'm not smaller than him. I would beat the living shit out of him. And if he wants to fight, I'll fight him any day of the week. I reckon he knows that. However, I do understand what he's doing. I understand that he is very, very smart, even with his marketing angle. I'm just a YouTuber. You're not just a YouTuber. You're a full-grown man with the best coaches in the world who's dedicated his life to learning how to box for years. You know how to box. You're not a complete amateur. You know how to box very well. 3, 4, 5 years of training combat sports. You can box.
Tate, on the other hand, has made it his mission to call out Jake Paul for every mistake, every overblown ego moment, and every fake win. To Tate, Jake's career is just a reality show with gloves. While Jake's fans are tweeting about his revolutionary impact on boxing, Tate is out here reminding everyone that real fighters don't boost their records with retired athletes and gimmick matches.
Let's say he would call you to fight. Would you take it?
Yeah, I mean, Jake and I actually talk. He's an all right guy. There was a time we were talking about fighting each other, and I think if this arrest didn't happen, it probably would have come to fruition. We'll see what happens in the future.
We'll see. Perhaps.
Tate has been especially vocal about the Tyson fight, calling it a money grab and a stain on Tyson's legacy. Tyson came out in a knee brace, struggling to even get into the ring, and Jake walked around afterward like he'd beaten a prime Tyson. For Tate, that wasn't just disrespectful, it was an insult to boxing. He believes Jake belongs in a clown show, not in the same conversation as boxing legends. Tate isn't just talking, he's mastered the art of mental warfare, tearing into Jake's reputation at every chance. From calling him a fraud to mocking his fake theatrics, Tate's strategy is calculated and relentless. He's out to break Jake down piece by piece, until there's nothing left but insecurity and regret. But here's the twist, it's not just talk. Tate has promised a reality check like no other, vowing to show Jake what it means to fight someone who doesn't see boxing as a quick way to make money, but as a true test of skill, heart, and grit.
I'm trying to live peaceful now. I've got Fed agents in my house. Matrix is after me. I'm just trying to live peaceful. But of course, I have absolute faith in myself and my brother.
Meanwhile, Jake is still doing his usual thing, mocking Tate, dragging Carl Froch into the mix, and being the loudest guy in the room. But let's be real, this time he knows what's at stake. If he loses, it's not just his record on the line, it's the entire empire he's built on bravado, hype, and hand-picked opponents. For Jake, this fight isn't just another payday, it's a gamble that could either solidify his brand or destroy it in spectacular fashion. So here we are, Dana White pulling the strings, Andrew Tate playing mind games, and Jake Paul standing at the edge of a career-defining moment. This isn't just a fight, it's a battle for the future of combat sports. Will it belong to real fighters with scars to prove it? Or will influencers keep running the show? One thing's for sure, when the bell rings, the gloves won't be the only things coming off.